Hello, welcome back. On RealCopStoriesVideos.com, 359 stories. Look them up. They're all my babies. Vice, narcotics gangs, naked people. There's gross alerts for not only sexual content, but also body things happening to people. You know, gang shooting with head got blown off. And so they're all on there for alerts, so in case people are sensitive to that. Enjoy them, please. And in the same website, continue on, or we're at about 180 questions and answers. And we're doing that now. Ask me a question, and I'll respond directly, and then I'll put them on video like we're doing now. Ask me a question or email me at rsbcopstories@gmail.com. The last question was, have I dealt with handicaps? And we've got a few going here. Here's another one. This is a gross alert. Because, again, I'm finding out there's a lot of snowflakes out there, and that's not necessarily a negative statement. It's people that are sensitive to seeing things they probably don't want to see. Okay, and I can understand that. I mean, but this is one of them. Not real bad, but just as you can leave now, and by the time I get to it, you'll be out of the room. Okay. Anyway, working Vice and in East LA, Latino Vice, and my partner are Latins, and one of the Vice. If you already read some of my stories, Vice is prostitution, big time gambling, drunks buying in liquor stores and bars, and juveniles buying booze wherever. Okay, it's not a really big deal. It's only like you do it 20 divisions times 6 Vice cops per division. That's it for 10,000 cops. There's not very many Vice cops. So this is just more custodial to keep the neighborhood nice. We were responding to complaints from one liquor store calls another one. He's trying to do legitimate business. The liquor store selling to everybody he can think of, and they dime each other off. So most of the time we go to bars just randomly if it's a slow night, but we also carry a packet of complaints, and we have to check so many times a month to see if this is actually happening. Most 99% of the time it is happening, and we clear it by arrest. So we had a liquor store, and they said they were selling to gang members, and of course gang members in my area were between like anywhere from 13 years of age up to 60. The majority of them would be 13 to about 20. And after 20, 21 years old, a lot of them are in prison, a lot of them are dead, a lot of them are maimed, a lot of them are shot. So it drops off because of age and all those things I told you about. So we see a liquor store, we're stake on it. We're sitting outside, we're plain clothes, long hair, we're just watching the front door, see who goes in and who goes out. Well, we see a gang member, and people in courts, I've testified to this. What is a gang member? Well, let's see, Mexican guy, long hair, goatee, Pendleton shirt, white t-shirt underneath, khaki pants split up the bottom with what do you call it? Huaraches, which is the sandals made of car tires, and black socks. Interesting. And of course, my partner and I worked gangs a couple years before we worked Vice, so we knew all the gang members, most of them already. And so we see him go in. Well, we know he's 19. We know he's not 21. So we get out of our car and we kind of follow him in. One of us stays in the parking lot watching the front door, and one of us goes inside, buys a soda, and purposely stands behind him to see the transaction. This is only going to be a ticket, unless no one has ID. Most of the time, the people that are selling, the clerks, they work there. A lot of them are family members. They'll just get a ticket. They'll get a ticket there'll be a misdemeanor for them selling to a minor, and then the license of the place for selling alcohol will get fined pretty good from the Alcohol and Beverage Control just to stop this sort of nonsense. Nobody goes to jail unless they don't have any ID. And most of the time, the other side, I don't say most of the time, about half the time they don't have ID. And so you can't write a ticket to somebody with no ID. You got to put them in jail. So one night, not even a night, maybe a couple hours, somebody comes and bails you out. It's not a big deal, okay? So we see the sale, beer. 6-pack, he comes out, my partner's right behind him, I'm out front, he starts to walk towards his car, and of course, by the time we don't let him get to his car, and we grab him, literally physically grab him, because we don't want to go in foot pursuits. I've done that before in one of my stories, a couple times in foot pursuits in plain clothes. Not good, because officers respond, they can't figure out who's the bad guy and who's the good guy. If I'm chasing behind, if I look just like him, who do you shoot, who do you not shoot if they're going to shoot somebody? And okay. So we badge him, grab him real quick, hook him up. You got any ID? No, I have no ID. Okay, fine. We kind of knew, not his name, but he knew he's a gang member. He's got a teardrop on the side of his face from one of his gang members' buddies died. They're crying for that person. He's a gang member. Okay, so we get him in our car and we go back to the station and we take him up to our office. We're gonna find out who he is because we work gangs. So as soon as we find out who he is, we can actually write him a ticket. And he's not being an a-hole. He just said, hey man, you got me. Okay, So there's nothing to contribute to us putting him in jail just to be mean. No, we didn't do that. We did it for righteous reasons. No ID. It's good enough. So we take him into our office. Partner goes downstairs, talks to the gang guys, based on what the suspect told us, and he comes back and he goes like this. And he has an intelligence card that he's been stopped before, So we look at that, we verify what he's telling us with the card. It's him. Got it. Okay, so we make our little card. We take the card back to gangs. This is a guy. We're just gonna write him a ticket. Okay, so we have this we're sitting at the table, and since my partner, since he was inside, he's writing the ticket. Not a big deal. It's just like a car ticket, pretty much. It's a little bit bigger form, but he's writing away, and I'm sitting there. I got the booze over here, and I'm doing the evidence, and the kid's sitting. Tell him a kid, 19, for crying out loud. He's just sitting right there. He's a nice guy. He's handcuffed to the chair. I don't trust anyone, but he's just sitting there. No big deal. We're gonna let him go in 15 minutes. So he goes, hey, officer, yeah. He goes, can I clean my eye? What's the matter with your eye? I said, well, I just have to clean it. Okay. Well, I can't do it with handcuffs. I said, okay. So I tell him, I lean over and I go, because we're in there right next to him. My sergeant's sitting there, and I go, don't get cute. You get cute, you're going to eat that floor. Okay. I like to let people know what they're going to get. And then when they get it, I lean down after they're down the floor, and I tell them, I told you. Done that a lot of times. I won't tell you how many times I did that, okay? Or I'd say things like, you enjoy the floor? How does the floor taste? That's some of the stuff I used to come out with. I was young. Okay, come on. I had hair, I had flat stomach. I actually had a six-pack and not a 24-pack like I had now, okay? Anyway, so we were pretty cocky then, I'll tell you. Anyway, so I go, you're going to eat floor? Okay, fine. So, reach in his pocket. Here comes a gross alert. Reach in his pocket. Got his handkerchief. I'm looking. My job is just to watch him, make sure he's okay. And my partner's still doing the paperwork. Okay, let me preface this. I was in Vietnam, in the Marine Corps 4 years. Now I've been on the job about 5 years, 5.5 years. I've seen a lot. We used to go in after missions of flyover bombing raids, and we'd see body parts hanging from tree limbs and stuff. Okay, yeah, we'd see heads half open, like a hot melon in the middle of the day in the summertime. I mean, you just get used to it. Okay, but I've been gone Vietnam about 6 years now. Yeah, kind of memories are kind of put back in the back of the file box. Well, here it comes back, man. Rock 3. I look over at him. He's got a handkerchief. What does he do? He pops his right eye out. Okay? Like a marble. He just reaches in with his thumb, pumps out, and he's cleaning it. And I look over. Again, some things catch you by surprise. And one of those stories I told you about a guy with no legs. You kind of go along doing your thing. All of a sudden, it's like, whoa. Get one of those, that's what it was. I went, hey. And I look at him. Now, I'm not a doctor. But I didn't research this, but I know about this. I think I'm correct about this. I have a lady here that's behind the camera, very knowledgeable. But my understanding is inside the eye socket, there are basically 4 muscles. The ball, your eye sits in here, and the 4 muscles sit around like this in the eye. And they move your eyeball for whatever you need, right? Okay. Well, without an eyeball in there, you just see they're just a hole. And it's a pretty good size hole. I'm not talking about all the way through his head, but it's about the size of your eye, and it's about this big around. So if it's this big around, it's this deep, right? Okay, because all right, let's get a little biology here, a little whatever you want to call it. So I'm looking over at him, and he's only like right here. And I'm talking to him, and he's talking to me. Well, as his left eye is moving, remember your eyes are parallel, right? So as he's talking to me, his left eye is looking at me and looking around, and the right socket and muscles are doing the same thing. Okay, now that's kind of gross. Okay, I kind of went, don't, that bean burrito I had earlier, it started to come up, man. Because I used to see this in this controlled setting in the U.S. of A., where you don't expect to see things like that. In Vietnam and war zones, Afghanistan, Iraq, the guys that have been over there, you see stuff, but not here where so I'm like, and so I look at him, I'm just kind of staring at it because I've never seen anybody inside of someone's skull like that before. Have you guys? I've seen, appendixes and people insides open up, and I've seen legs gashed open, and I've seen maggots on somebody's leg in one of my stories, gashes on the neck. I've seen dog bites that rip out half the part of your guy's neck. But I've never seen inside of someone's skull, pretty much, okay? So I'm like, go, hey. He goes, what? As soon as I re-swallow the vomit that was coming up, okay? I go, hey, put that back in your head. Oh, I'm sorry. And he's, so he's, and I'm looking, and one of the things where you don't want to look, but I can't look away. I want to see this because it's very interesting, even though it's always making me sick, okay? So he's kind of like, messing with that certain way. All of a sudden, he's kind of like, I won't say there was no sound, but it was like he kind of went in, kind of, if it was a cartoonist, that would be, but that kind of thing. But no, it just kind of went in. And then he's kind of adjusting it, and he goes, how does it look? And I'm going, it looks okay, because it did look okay, I guess he needs a mirror. I assume he needs a mirror because, here's the cuticle, right? The dark part, whatever that is. The iris, thank you. This iris is like this, okay? Yeah, I'm looking, he's looking like, it looked like what I used to say, it looked like a 68 Volkswagen Bug going underneath an overpass. One headlight, this one, and a headlight on the top. You ever see those cars go by in the old days, okay? The old Volkswagens, they always did that. There was somehow the spring broke the bracket and the spring to hold the bulb in. Remember the old days, and one of those springs gets weak and all of a sudden the headlight's like this, so they're going down the street like that. So he goes, hello, you look okay. Then my partner looks up and sees him. He looks at me, he just shakes his head because he knows that I told him he's okay. He was not looking okay. One eye's looking this way, one eye's looking that way. That's okay. That's part of my little getting back at me almost vomiting on myself. So anyway, we wrote him a ticket. No one doing that anymore. Oh, they're going to do it. I mean, come on. You're 19, 20 years old. Everybody gets drinks. Just have somebody else buy it, crying out loud. But we had to tell him, officially that he shouldn't be doing that. And, you got a ticket here. I think in those days, they were fining him like $100. $50 to $100 was a ticket for buying beer. Because again, it's not a big deal. It's just custodial. It's just to keep the area nice. It's people want it. They don't want you to go out there and have 2,000 cops doing this, but they want just do what you can and keep it kind of like on the down low, so it doesn't look like mass. Oh my gosh, we have 500 juveniles buying beer. Oh my gosh, the world's coming to an end. No, they just want to keep it on real nice, and I can understand that. Your community, you want to keep your community at least halfway legal on these liquor stores and stuff. But anyway, so that's my one of my handicap stories. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye bye.